Well, welcome into the post-game Daily News WCRD Extra. I'm James Ryder, Nick Golden, and Vinny Lopes here with you today. Ball State took on Stanford tonight, dropped a little bit of a heartbreaker. It was 3-0. Stanford came away victorious, but Nick, we took away a lot of positives from the Ball State side of things.
Sure did. It was Ball State's first game of the year, so you know they're going to struggle, and they showed a lot of promise, especially in that second game. You see they were a little rusty the first game as Stanford won 30-20, but that second game, they really came out strong. Was unable to get the win, but a lot of stuff to build off of. And looking forward to watch them build as the season progresses.
Well, and Vinny, one thing I talked to Coach Walton about before the match was, passing. He said Stanford, they've got 4 guys that have played together since they were living in Hawaii, and they've been together a long time. So the passing for Stanford was very crisp, and this is, by the way, their 6th match of their season. Ball State getting off, opening the match. Passing wasn't as good. What'd you hear from Walton?
Yeah, well, in talking to Coach Walton, he said, really the connection that the Stanford players have is big. You have so many of those Stanford players who are growing up in Hawaii. They've been playing on the sand pretty much their entire life. With Ball State, it's their first game. They're still trying to figure out themselves a little bit. And talking to Coach Walton, he said probably the biggest problem of the night was Ethan Feaster not being able to connect with his left outside attackers. That was one of the reasons only one Ball State player had more than 10 kills, being Todd Chamberlain with a match-high 20.
Well, Todd Chamberlain absolutely doing it. We also talked about J.D. Gasparovic during our broadcast about how he was able to get key points at key times. And one can't help but think Todd Chamberlain's good. Ethan Feaster was able to set a little bit off his game. J.D. Gasparovic doing it and getting it done in the middle. But Matt McCarthy, it really hurts to not have him there. Vinny, you saw what he was like last year. What was it like for this team not to have McCarthy?
Well, with McCarthy, he's definitely the leader in the middle, especially able to generate a lot of offense, had more than a 400 attack percentage. And when you have McCarthy on there, that begins to distribute everything around. Suddenly, teams can't focus so much on Chamberlain or on J.D. Gasparovic. And talking to Walton after the match, he still doesn't know if McCarthy's going to be good to go for the #1 Penn State match they have on Friday, but he's hoping that he'll be good to go ready for when they open the season against Lewis.
Well, and that's their conference season against Lewis.
Well, and that's really the key is the MIVA conference schedule, because the conference in the regular season sets up the postseason, and really whoever has the home floor is who has the advantage. So we'll see how that goes. But we had a lot of positives, some negatives, and Nick, you got to see the team in full force against a very quality team. And Wally impressed you early. Who else really stuck out to you?
Well, as much as Feaster struggled, he also was a big benefit to the team. When he really rallied, Walton did talk about how he struggled with focusing his energy, but when he got his team rallied a couple times. When they were down like 3 or 4, you saw Feaster get really excited after Stanford called a timeout and really rallied the team, which you like to see in a leader, especially a setter everyone looks up to really have everyone look up to, and he's showing so much energy. It shows a lot of promise for later on.
You've been around this team for a while, seeing them last year and this year. What are your expectations for them going forward and playing Penn State on the road, but also looking into the MIVA schedule?
Well, my expectations, I think that this is still a team that's going to be really strong in the MIVA. It would not shock me if they win the MIVA regular season. You have to remember, first game out, they're still trying to figure everything out. Remember, Ball State actually started the season 0-4 last year, losing to teams like Penn State. So no need to hit the panic button just yet.
Well, certainly a very quality side in Ball State taking on the #4 ranked Stanford Cardinal. So it's a benchmark for where they are in the season. We'll see how they go in the rest of the year. But I'll tell you what, I really like Ball State if these two teams meet up again, maybe in Provo, Utah, in the NCAA semifinals or finals. But there's a lot of volleyball to be played, a healthy Ball State team. Maybe not going to be ranked in the top 5, but you know what? I think they have the potential to win the NCAA tournament. We'll see how that goes. Like I said, lots of volleyball to be played. We'll see how it goes the rest of the season, and look forward to more post-game extras with Nick, Vinny, and myself, James, with WCRD as the play-by-play, Nick as the color, and Vinny writing for the Daily News.